This is Bill Bumbleruski's junior season, and after winning the national championship, the feeling that he had, he said he wanted to go back and there was no one that was going to stop him. Meanwhile, going into our first game against the number 17 seed, Kansas State, we start off intense. I throw a dot to my wide receiver, Dante, and on 1st and 10, I was getting some pressure by the D-line, and Bill Bumbleruski juke, oh my God, where is he going? Bam, oh my God, running defenders over. With Kansas State not striking back after we scored, I said it's only one way. We gonna score again, juke. I was breaking tackles, but I got slammed to the ground, and somehow, some way, I went out with back spasms, so they put the other quarterback in, and I'm just watching him on the sideline get sacked, so I come back in that game and throw a dot. I said, you're not gonna take my position, and on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski throw a dot all the way down the field, and Thornton could go all the way for a 6, and he was absolutely fired up. But on 2nd and 10, we have a read option. I bounce it outside, spin move, oh my God, look like Braxton Miller out there. On 2nd and 10, takes it all the way to the crib, and we're going to win the game, and he gets player of the game with 5 total TDs. After Bill Bumbleruski had a spectacular game last game, going into our next game against FCS West, it has to be another one. And on 1st and 10, as you can see, he runs inside, jukes outside, and no one else is gonna catch him. Psych, they shoestring tackle him. But on 1st and goal, he had 3 defenders tackle him, and he went out again. That's gonna be his biggest problem this year. He's gotten hurt, and the other quarterback came in to put 14 up, but I come back in 1st and goal, throw a dot to White. I said, let's go, man. We back, and it's time to take over. 1st and 10, I throw a dot all the way down the field, and on 1st and 10, we got backed up. It's 34-3, and guess what? Just look at that dot. You thought he was going interception, but it was a 65-yard reception. On 1st and goal, bam, get out of my way. I'm going in for 6. We will go on to win another ball game. He ends the game off of 5 total TDs. Going into our next game against the number 7 seed Oklahoma, on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski was trying to find his way into that end zone, but he just couldn't get in there. On 3rd and goal, this DN absolutely wrapped him up and threw him to the ground. But on 4th and goal, I said, y'all not gonna stop me. I'm gonna get in regardless. And on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski rolls out of the pocket, finds his target on that streak route, and he catches it and will deliver it for a 44-yard reception. But on 1st and 10, he throw it to square wide for 6, and it's time to run the score up. They go down and score, but guess what? We come back down and march and score again. We're absolutely throwing another dot. But on 1st and 10, we have a read option, and oh my God, he kept it, breaks one tackle, and he could, and he would go all the way. Bill Bumbleruski will be Heisman this year, and he is gonna break all of the school records. On 2nd and 10, he's sitting back in that pocket and delivers to Ethan Davis, his player of the game with 6 total TDs. On into the next game against 3-0 Florida Gators, it's time to put them to an end. On 2nd and 10, I throw a dot, and he absolutely gets up that field for a 61-yard reception. And on 2nd and goal, I said, I'm gonna take it in myself this time, and absolutely celebrated with the team because Bill was fired up. And on 3rd and goal, he will roll out of that pocket and go in for another one. We're now up 14-0, and we keep getting the ball back because our defense keep going out there getting stops, and I will dive for another rushing yard TD. That's 3 on the game already. And on 2nd and 10, Bill will find his target Webb to go in for another one. And on 3rd and 12, I'm absolutely getting pressure, so I run that ball, juke, oh my God, he's gonna get ran over, but bam, oh my God, he absolutely hit Bill, and he kind of hurt him after that. It didn't stop him from delivering passes, but running that ball, he was kind of scared, but this time, he threw the defender off him. He said, ha, got him back. But on 1st and goal, Bill will run it outside and run him over. He was fired up. He said, shh, let's go. We're going to win the game. He gets player of the game with 7 total TDs. Going into our next game against the number 25 seed 3-0 LSU, on 1st and 10, I throw a dot to Ethan Davis, and things are starting to get serious for us because we're now ranked number 3 in the nation, but Bill said that isn't going to affect him. He goes in for 6. It's now 14-0. On 1st and 18, Bill will find his target, the Nathan Leacock. But on 1st and goal, he will sit back in that pocket, and he will go in for another rushing TD. He told his teammate, great blocking up front, man. He throws another one to Leacock for 6. It's now 27-3, and on 1st and 10, I find Caleb Well. On 1st and 10, that pocket was getting destroyed, so I roll out of that pocket, and he could go all the way, get that first down, but he would get thrown out of bounds. But on 1st and goal, he give it to his running back to punch it in for 6. But on 2nd and 10, it's not over. I want to run the score, so I throw a dot all the way down the field for a 61-yard reception. I end the game off with 6 total TDs. Going into our next game against 3-2 Georgia, on 2nd and 10, I find my receiver burning this DB on the left left side of the field for a 50-yard reception, and that's how you get the game starting. But on 2nd and 10, he thought he was going to sack me, but I rolled out and found my receiver Leacock for a 24-yard reception. But on 1st and goal, oh my God, I will run that ball in. With that run right there, Bumbleruski is doing miracles. He break the school rushing TD record, and he is not playing this year. He's trying to go for Heisman, and he's trying to be a top draft pick in the NFL. But as you can see, he throws his first interception of the season, and that wasn't good. And on 4th and 7, I'm not going to lie, Georgia started rallying that ball, and things were going for a change. And on 1st and goal, Bill set his backers against the wall, so he going to score, and he will. It's now 14-21, but I find my receiver down the field again. But on 3rd and goal, Bill rolls out of that pocket and could, and he would. Oh my God. But we going to win the game. He gets player of the game with 6 total TDs. With another great win, we are now ranked number 2 in the nation. And on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski will find him a receiver. He absolutely broke through those cornerbacks, and he strikes out like a lightning bolt and could go all the way to the crib. And on 1st and 10, we get that ball back. After our defense go out there and stop them boys, I absolutely stiff arm my way all the way into the end zone. Boom! That's how you put it down and say, hey, this is my house. But on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski will go. Oh, juke. Oh my God, what is these defenders doing out there? He's making them look like fools. But he go all the way for a 6 and was turning up with his teammates. But on 2nd and 10, he was sitting back in that pocket, rolls out of that pocket, and he could go all the way for another rushing yard TD. And I'm not gonna lie, this game right here, the NFL scouts are watching because he's gonna break history. But he throws a dot to Caleb Webb for a 6, and on 1st and goal, he rolls out of that pocket again. Get out of my way, I will run you over. He gets player of the game with 9 total TDs. Going into our next game against South Carolina, on 1st and 10, that D-line was rallying the ball, and they sacked me, and I didn't really like that. On 1st and 10, Bill said he wanted revenge, but he got hit really hard again. And on 1st and goal, I'm not gonna lie, this South Carolina defense is rallying the ball. They made me fumble it, but we recovered it. On 2nd and goal, I said I want revenge. Y'all are not gonna keep stopping me, so I throw it to Nate Spillman for a 6. And on 1st and 10, I will find another receiver, Squirrel White, in the back of the end zone. But oh my God, they hit me again, and Bill will fumble the ball, and they recovered this time. This is his 2nd fumble. He's definitely disappointed with himself. On 3rd and 10, he was sitting back in that pocket, and he would not throw a dot. This defender was all over it, but I wanted to go for it, but coach said, son, punt the ball. So I punted it back to him, and we absolutely go down and hit him. But on 1st and 10, I was rolling out of that pocket, and I'm not gonna lie, every receiver was clamped up, but I just threw this one up, and he went to go get it. But on 1st and goal, Bill Bumbleruski sitting back in that pocket. We go down and score. Going for the 2-point conversion, he will throw an interception, and we drive back down the field. We said this is not over just yet. It's 26-35. Bill want to give it his all, but he kind of fumbles the ball again, and they will recover it again. And things are not going our way, and we cannot lose this game. This is going to be our first loss. No, he fumbles it again. This is his 3rd fumble of the game, and Bill is just not in his bag this game, and things are not going well. And they will go on and win the ball game, and Bill ends the game off with 4 total TDs. On into our next game against 6-1 Alabama. Everyone is scared of Alabama just because of their name, but Bill Bumbleruski, boom, get out of my way, juke. Oh my God, he is absolutely going insane and get an 18-yard rush to start the game off, and he likes to put an end to Alabama. On 1st and 10, he rolls out of that pocket after getting a touchdown and throws another interception. This is the 2nd game in a row that Bill Bumbleruski threw 2 interceptions, and it's not like him. It's absolutely not. But going into the next play on 1st and goal, we drive down that field again, and it is now 14-0. We are gonna blow them out. On 2nd and 10, Bill Bumbleruski will bounce it outside. Juke. Oh my God. Get up that field and get all the way down to the goal line. But on 1st and 10, he rolls out of that pocket again and finds his receiver, Thornton Jr., and he takes it all the way to the crib. But our defense is kind of not holding up anymore, so we have to score. It's 47-31, and Bill throws a dot on 1st and 10, and he could and he would go all the way. We go on to win the ball game, and Bill ends the game off with 7 total TDs. On to our next game against 4-5 Missouri. On 1st and 10, we are going to treat them as such, and throwing it to Thornton Jr., he was absolutely fired up early on. And on 1st and 10, Bill Bumbleruski rolling out of that pocket and throwing that ball on a run is something special to do, and that's why he's going to be a top draft pick. And on 2nd and 7, he rolls out again, and throwing it on the run is his thing. He might just be the next Russell Wilson. After having a great start on 3rd and 10, I throw another dot to Thornton, and oh my God, Thornton Jr. is having him a game. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, I just give it to the running back. He go throwing with a 3-yard rush. And on 1st and 10, I go to Ethan Davis for a 22-yard reception. And guess what? He will go all the way 4-6. And I'm absolutely just running it up. As you can see, I'm just throwing dots all over the field, and they are taking it all the way to the crib. We're going to win the game. He gets the game off with 7 total TDs. On to our next game against 5-5 Vanderbilt. On 2nd and 6, Bill Bumbleruski rolls out of the pocket and finds Squirrel White for a 29-yard reception. And on 1st and goal, I said I didn't want to pass it. I wanted to run it in. So Bill was being kind of selfish, but he went and got it. And he said, guess what? I don't want just one. I want 2. And he fumbles the ball on the goal line. So that's what happens when you be a little selfish. And Bill was upset with himself. And I mean, he should be. He shouldn't have fumbled the ball. But on 1st and goal, Bill wants to run it again. And this time, he said he's going to punch his way in. And on 1st and goal, he throws a dot to Caleb Webb. But on 1st and 10, sit back in that pocket. He loves to roll out of that pocket and throw it on the run. Oh my God, Thornton Jr. absolutely a dot. That was insane. But on 1st and goal, he throws a dot to Lonnie Nelson. And with that TD, school passing yard TD record is broken. Oh my God, look at Bill throwing that pass right there. That was incredible. But on 2nd and 4, as you can see, he jukes. Oh my God, breaks a tackle. Juke. Oh my God, he will go all the way 4-6. And he was fired up. He goes on to get player of the game with 6 total TDs. Into our next game against 3-8 Kentucky. Did not start off well, and they're 3-8. So why are we struggling with him? I don't know. But Bill didn't have a great start, and he was kind of frustrated. And when he gets in his head, he kind of plays a little better. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, he rolls out that pocket. Oh my God, made one man miss and absolutely tried to stiff arm, but he will get brought down. But on 3rd and 10, he'll throw a dot to Thornton Jr. That's becoming one of his favorite receivers, and he might just go to the NFL draft with him. But on 1st and 10, Bill rolls out of the pocket again and finds another receiver open for another dot. It's now 14-12, and I'm not gonna lie, this D-line was coming. Maneuvering his way down that field, he said he has to get missing. Juke absolutely stiff arms him, getting down to that goal line again. He said, you know what? I'm gonna throw a dot and finds Thornton Jr. in the back of the end zone, and he breaks Peyton Manning's record. That is a blessing. Once he broke that record, you already know he's going to the league. But on 1st and 10, it's 28-25, and oh my God, this receiver was too open, and you know who it was, Thornton Jr. He goes on to get player of the game with 7 total TDs. Bill Bumbleruski is blessed. I mean, with every year he's played college football, he's going to a conference championship. So on 1st and 10, you know who he finds. Thornton Jr. goes all the way to start the game off so we can make our mark to go to that national championship. And we were absolutely fired up. But on 1st and 15, he absolutely breaks a tackle, rolls out of that pocket and throws a dot, but he kind of just drops the ball. I don't know what he's doing. But on 2nd and 15, I throw a dot to Leacott to take us up 14-7. But no. Texas A&M was back down the field to tie it up. But guess what? Bill said he's going to strike back. So it's 21-14. We're in that safety. I break one tackle, throw a dot. No, it was a deflection. But on 1st and 10, oh, it's an interception. Things are not going our way. And Bill, do not drop your head, son. Pick it back up. On 1st and 10, he throws a dot to Squirrel White. But on 2nd and 10, as you can see, he throws another dot, but he drops the ball. It's now 35-42. We're losing, and their defense is just going insane. Bill can't get anything started. The receivers are dropping the ball. On 1st and 10, he tries to put matters in his own hands, and he will get rallied by the whole team. But on 1st and goal, Bill rolls out of that pocket and will go in 4-6. It's now 42-42, but they drop back down and win the conference championship game. Things did not go our way, but it's all right. So with that being said, Bill Bumbleruski will win Heisman, but he kind of has a hard decision to make. He doesn't know if he want to go back for his senior year or go to the NFL draft. Drop in the comments down below, what should Bill Bumbleruski do?